Hello, I'm really excited to show you Adobe Stock along with CreativeSync in action, which you'll see how it will remove the clutter from your workflow and really puts your assets at your fingertips. Now, I'm starting off here at Adobe Stock, and I just want to do a search on Denali National Park in Alaska. Searches over 40 million images. You could see some that I've actually already licensed, but you can see all these many gorgeous images as I scroll down. Notice how this is already licensed and saved to Adventure Guide. In fact, if we take a look, where is Adventure Guide? Well, it's actually my Creative Cloud library right in here. So you'll see those same images. Now, you can license and then also save or sync directly to your library panel, or you can jump in and just save a preview. So I can save a preview of this image to that same library. Let's just do a couple of wildlife images, that beaver and even these cute huskies. You get the idea. In fact, let's even do that moose. So I've synced not only licensed images, but preview images, and now they're going to be available everywhere. In fact, you know what? I didn't have to click through a couple pages, download it to my downloads folder, and hunt it down. It's just going to be available in my creative apps as I'd expect. Same thing goes for Typekit fonts as well. Okay, so I can go to typekit.com, do a search on a classification like a slab serif, find a cool heading that's really bold because I really want it to work with my design of adventure and make it really strong, and just select a font that I want. Now, notice how I will see the different weights and styles, and I can use it, say for instance, on the web. And we have something called dynamic subsetting. We'll actually only use the characters that you're using on your site and none other. So it actually makes your size like a fraction, your website fraction of the size. So I'm actually going to sync this directly to Creative Cloud now. I'm going to sync it. Notice how it actually syncs not only to my desktop. Again, I didn't have to download it to my downloads folder and just go through that dance, if you will. It's just going to be available to me. And it's not only going to be available to me on my desktop, but also on mobile. So that's why I'm switching over to my iPad. Here I am. This is my iPad. And a number of these are available for Android. We have Shape, Color, Brush, Photoshop Mix available on Android. I'm going to start out in Comp, Adobe Comp CC, and notice how you can create a number of layouts from websites to sort of print ads to app design. And I'm just going to create a quick layout for a print ad. Now I can start drawing using gestures. So I'll just draw a box and then a little dot to give me that headline. I can draw, say for instance, paragraph text as I'm doing right now. And even if I want a big image over there, I can do that, maybe a smaller image. So just using gestures, I can start to establish this design. I can bring this up over here and go beyond the system fonts or fonts that are just available on my iPad, because you guessed it, also right in here are my fonts, my Typekit fonts available in Adobe Comp CC. So you can see my Adele condensed bold. It changes it. In fact, check this out, Adventure Guide. I actually have these different text styles, so I can start to select them, and you can see how those look. So I can go with this large headline if I want to. Let me change this text to Denali, just like that. Make sure it's on top of everything else, and I can start to organize this. And let's keep in mind that this isn't a throwaway layout like it would be if I was drawing this on a piece of paper, because I'm actually going to be able to push it to the desktop app of my choice. So rather than using these boxes, same thing. I can jump in rather than just accessing my files. I have my Adventure Guide, all of my library assets. Just like I did earlier, I can select that photo. It's going to just be that placeholder image. Same thing right up here. Diving in, selecting that moose. 2 images, watermarked, and I can license them later. But also, I could send it to the app of my choice. InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, whatever I want to choose. You could see it's syncing in the upper right-hand corner and actually will appear on my desktop. Again, it's not a throwaway design, and all of this text is going to be editable and usable on my desktop. So it actually popped up over here on my desktop, but before I move on, I'm going to jump into Brush, because that same thing goes for a lot of these apps. Anytime you're making content like I'm doing in Brush, I can, let's just point to this butterfly. Let's just select that page background, capture that image, crop it. You get the idea. I'm just making a quick brush But the thing is I don't have to worry about, the busy work of working on this image. In fact, I can sort of crop it further to clean it up, kind of like that. All in all, you get the idea. That's what I want. I can save this. We'll just call this Rudderfly, which is a bad take on brush and butterfly, but it's syncing to Adventure Guide. Now let's just jump back to our desktop. So whatever I create on mobile will be where I'd expect it, like Photoshop. So here's that design that got pushed there. I could see it right here. See that? It says Denali National Park. It's all editable. I can adjust it any way I want. If I want to make that like an overlay, that's pretty cool. If I decide I want to license this image, I could do that, or I can replace it with another image. You have that sort of flexibility, and those images also give you a vector mask. All right. So also that brush that's available, let's just turn off that image, is available right up here. So there's my butterfly brush, selecting it, coming in here and just kind of painting a little bit. You get the idea. I can do a number of things with it, and in fact I actually want to make this into a mask for that image. So I just thought I'd do something kind of fun in this case, kind of revealing that moose and sort of just showing off the different wildlife available in Denali National Park. But before I leave, there's also, of course, the Adobe magic that we've come to know and love. In fact, I'm going to jump into Lightroom. And we showed this last year at Max in October. Obviously, we have a hazy image. I'd love to remove the haze. Well, you guessed it. You now have dehaze in Lightroom. So let's just get rid of that haze just like that. Okay, so before, after, before, after. Done and done. In fact, let's send this to Photoshop, and it's going to be available to us in Photoshop as part of my layout if I want, which I like it as is. But even going beyond that, what I can do is I could just sync this to Adventure Guide as well, because I actually want to share this with someone else. So, but that's it for me. Thank you so much.